Hey, good morning, y'all. We are on April 9th right now, and we're on day 18 in bicycling through Cambodia. And on my cheap $100 bicycle, I'm here just getting breakfast. I know I'm making a sandwich out of my eggs this time. Got my coffee and everything. And really, the route's not really set ahead. I know yesterday I cut in a screenshot of the walking route, and the walking route consists of a lot of small little roads, so I'm not going to try and attempt to basically name all those roads. The one thing I can say is I take the 6 from here. I take the 6 to about what is it, 36 kilometers? 39 kilometers away to a place called Phumi Pre Crook or something like that. That's where I actually get off to 6. And then all of you actually kind of heading in a southerly western direction through the smaller roads and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm gonna probably go down to 7-Eleven, sit for a bit, have a few coffee, drinks and stuff, and figure it out from there if that's the smartest way to go, because I think it is. Yeah, so that's as much about as planning as I done on the route. So like I said, a lot of this route is just me making it up as I'm pedaling along. Whatever I say in the morning usually changes by the evening and stuff like that. One thing Stephen mentioned in the comments, and it dawned on me that he was right. He said, "Hey, you didn't mention like which temples and stuff like that you actually enjoyed the most and stuff like that, or you didn't talk much about your experience and what you thought of it." And I was like, you know what, you're right. I didn't do that, so I apologize. I want to first say that to name a favorite would kind of be a cop-out, because, at least in my feeling, I know I could say, oh, I like this one the best or anything, but they were all just so unique in their own way. Like, let me just kind of give you an example. Like, Angkor Wat's like the main one. That was the one I hit in the morning. And Angkor Wat was just like probably the largest spread out, well preserved one. I mean, it was probably the most well preserved out of all of them. So it's one of the iconic ones, right? It was beautiful. It was long, big grounds and stuff. But the day before, when I actually went to see the sunset, there's 2 main spots that you actually see the sunset. One's a temple over on the east side more, and one's one of the only ones they actually have on a hill. That's Phnom Bakin. So it's the Baking temple. It's a smaller temple, but you saw my very first, actually it was the one before exploring Angkor Wat. It's not in that playlist. It's actually the day before. It was a smaller temple, but you go up the go up the hillside, very mellow path that they put in and stuff like that. You don't have to do the old stairs. Actually, you're not allowed to do the old stairs. But it's a smaller complex, but its positioning makes it unique because it's up on the hill overlooking the whole valley and stuff like that. And then you had the other ones like, now one thing I will say is there's a little booklet. It says it's by by UNESCO World Heritage, and you can get these when you're buying your tickets. If you go to the ticket store, they have a little gift shop, and it's only $2. And this one comes with lots of pictures on the inside, and with the pictures, it has just a snippet of the history and stuff like that. Now, if you can afford it, I would definitely recommend getting one of the guides, but if you can't, I think you should at least carry this around in your back pocket. just so, I mean, they do have placards that you can read and stuff, read all the placards you want, but there's so many guides. You don't have to get a guide. You can actually go to the sites and you look for the person with the shirt on. You can see all the guides wear the same shirts, and they're all extremely knowledgeable. There was not one guide that I walked by that didn't sound like he was talking about some type of historical this or that. And honestly, I don't know what they charge. I wish I did. If they're anything like Jerusalem was, to be a guide, you actually needed 2 years of college. So you needed to actually go through college and study your history and stuff to actually become an official guide. So I think they have something like this here, because it doesn't sound like any of them were like, yeah, the dinosaurs built this, or, you know, this was created by the aliens or whatever. It was very, so yeah. If you can afford it, probably a guide would be awesome. Also 3 days would have been awesome, because it becomes overwhelming. Like the top Rome temple was one of my favorites. It really was. It was the iconic one with the trees that grow through. Like, you remember the trees? The ones that you always see in the movies when they do a jungle scene and they want some like old forgotten city with a, you know, vegetation growing up through it. That was definitely one of my favorites, because although you had a few trees growing through the walls and stuff at the other ones, not in the same amount. This one had so many trees, just like, and it causes the walls to fall down and stuff. But yeah, it's trying to fit it all into one day. I burnt myself out. It was like information overload, and each one's like a little, like, it's awesome if it brings out your inner child, because a lot of them are just like, you know, they're like labyrinths, you know, they're like mazes. And several times I got lost. Honestly, I did. I came out the wrong side of the temple, because each temple usually has either 2 directions in or 4 directions in. A lot of them mostly have 4 directions in. And if you take the bicycle trail, sometimes you find at the outer gates, you know, like, because usually only 2 of the gates might be utilized, but the other 2 are still there. It just, there's no parking lot. You got to take one of the bicycle trail to get out there. And then there's usually a footpath that goes in and stuff like that. And a bicycle is, I would say, if you did the ticket, you can do a 3-day ticket, but they give you a whole week to actually do it. So I'd say see temples, take a break, just bicycle around. See temples, take a break, and you won't get like the information overload that I did. I mean, that was a lot, but I seriously liked it. I lacked on one thing, is I just came here out of a whim because someone said, hey, you should go up there. And I was like, hey, that's something I've always wanted to do. That's on my bucket list. And I did. And I didn't study the history. I didn't study all this. That's why I kind of regret not having the guide. But it's awesome. Siem Reap, the town, is awesome. It's definitely a place if you like bicycling, you should, because honestly, I would love to go back out to the temple and spend at least a week just cycling around, just cycling, you know, and also seeing some temples later, because I only got a handful of temples, guys. Just like a 1-day thing, is just a sprinkling of what you can do here, and then 3 days of recovery. 3 days of recovery and trying to catch up on all the footage I got. Now that was 3 videos out of 1 day. That's how much awesome stuff there was just to fully take in. So I really enjoyed it. I definitely think if you guys have been thinking about something like this, come here, but come here with a minimum week. Just a minimum week plan, because like me trying to fit it all in, I still needed those days to recover and edit everything and stuff. So, yeah. So pack your bags for at least a week. Come to Siem Reap. The food's awesome. The people are really awesome. This place, if you're a budget traveler, this place is definitely I would say one of the best. But if you come maybe in a few months, everything will be a little bit more upgraded. Like the whole place is very nice. but like the bunks and stuff, they've seen their better days, but it's not dirty or anything. It's clean, you know. But look at everything you get, you know, big breakfast. The breakfast alone is like, pay $4 for the breakfast, get a free room, you know, get a free night. All right, guys, I'm going on too long. 10 minutes, way too long. Thank you, Stephen, for pointing that out. I needed to at least mention things like this on my videos while they're happening. Like I said, you know, I live and I learn, guys. Hey, but we're gonna get back out there and hit the road and start this adventure up again. All right, this place was awesome. You guys have to come to Siem Reap. It definitely is awesome. All right, bye. Hey guys, I'm just a little outside of Siem Reap right now. I'm actually right off of the 6. That's the noise you hear. There's the 6 right here. So I'm literally just right off the corner. I'm pulled over to have a tea. Right now, 7-Eleven, you got these on sale. You buy one, get one free. I guess they're trying to get rid of their old inventory. For $1.50, you get 2 of them though. They're just different types of iced teas. But they're 1 liter, and that's what I like. Before I left the hostel, I wanted to throw this in because I know I was discussing how much of a benefit the archaeology or the tour guides that were, if you were to get one, for like Angkor Wat. Before I was leaving, I met a guy named Raj, an Indian fellow that's been living there in Siem Reap for 17 years, I think he said. And he gave me some information. We started talking about the tour guides and how much I really admired how much they knew and stuff. And he told me that before COVID, they actually didn't have tour guides. They didn't have the official tour guides with the shirts and the patches. You can see that they're like a greenish long sleeve shirt usually with a patch on the shoulder. And they're all certified. And he said during COVID that the government decided that they were going to train people as tour guides. So they spent the 3 years during COVID, and you know, when all of society came to a screeching halt, they took advantage of that time by the government training people. And these were a program that you could get into, and it was a 1-year program. And but the 1-year program taught you about all the sites and all the information and the history of the sites, but it also, within that 1-year program of training, also taught you about hospitality and customer service and stuff like this, so that you would be a proper, good, government certified tour guide. And so that's why there's so many here, is that they all went through training and stuff. There was also the secondary tour guide, right? These are the ones that do not work for the government. So those tour guides actually that do the 1-year training, they're actually full-time government employees, from what Raj was telling me. But then there's a secondary, like a second tier, which is voluntary. It's not really voluntary. You get paid and stuff, but it's voluntary. You're just not working for the actual government. That's a 4-month program. And the only difference is they teach you all the historical, same class kind of, but you don't get the hospitality training and stuff like that that the people in the 1-year program get. So that's why the quality that I admired walking by and hearing how much that they were actually taking these people around. They knew the proper spots to show them. Each tour guide knew like the story of the engravings upon the wall that I kind of just filmed a little of. They knew the story behind it, and you see a lot of that. That's coal. That's hauling coal back and forth. Those guys load down. Anyway, sorry about that. That squirrel, a squirrel. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, so I want to throw that in. That was something that I wish I had my camera on me. I would have just filmed Raj, but tell the story himself. But I thought that was very interesting information. And
definitely look into, like I said, I don't know the price, but they are well trained. So yeah, so my hat's off to all the tour guides of Angkor Wat and Siem Reap. All right, this is the 6th here. I came from that direction. And I'm going to be beginning the walking route, so I'm veering away right now from the from 6, and I'm going to be going through the off-roads now. And we'll see how this goes. So I made a quick pass through that temple. I saw it, and I just kind of went through with my bicycle. I didn't really explore too much. But then when I came out, I went the wrong way. But I caught it real fast. I just turned around and coming. So when I took a left in the video, I should have taken a right. But from here, it looks like I'm going to be going into dirt roads. So I'm going to be getting pretty filthy. It's going to be fairly straight on this for a while, but I'm going to be picking up a lot of this red dust all over me. So, but it looks like it'll be a nice ride. I'm looking forward to a nice ride, and the weather out is actually fairly nice. We're in the hottest part of peaking in April is the hottest time in Cambodia. So I've been kind of blessed right now having weather as good as it is today. The clouds are keeping back too much of the heat, and yeah, so it's been fairly pleasant this whole time. Well, I was wrong about it being a dirt road. It was just a small section of a dirt road. We're back on a nice paved, that's a nice house. Nice paved road going through, looks like a small little town village. So that's all right. I don't mind not getting dirty for the day. But I'm sure I'll eventually hit another patch of dirt somewhere. It's just when there's dirt out, I usually have to put the camera away just because I might hit a rock or something like that and fly off the bike and break this thing, this camera. So yeah, this is nicer. Hey, hello. Hey, hello. And then I turn left right up here, let's say. Hey kids. Hello, hello.
Where are you from?
America. Bye-bye, kids. Bye-bye. Hello. 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 Well, I'm back to making it up as I go along. Google Maps did this to me again. Like I said, Google Maps on the back roads seems like it's only correct about 60% of the time. You have to use it in combination with satellite view. So I got to a point on the walking route where it was telling me there's roads instead of Google Maps saying there's a road right here. I'm like, no, that's someone's property, that's someone's house. So that's very common with Google Maps in foreign countries and somewhat in the United States too, actually. So I got on Organic Maps, my other one that I like. Organic Maps didn't really have much more information. And this road right here is not listed in either of them. So I'm just following it. I know that over this way behind me, up yonder, is the National Highway. So I'm paralleling that right now. If I need to, I can just go over there. Like if this one ends, I'll go over there, get on National Highway for a little bit until I hit the next city down, and then go south from there. It's I'm just trying to take more of back roads and stuff because I think it'll be more of a pleasant journey. So anyway, hi ho, hi ho. So it's 4:17 right now, and I'm at a gas station. I'm actually getting a pizza, so this is late in the day. I ate breakfast and stuff like that, but yeah. So I just ordered. She's cooking up a pizza. That didn't turn out. So the taking the back roads didn't turn out. Google Maps took me on a wild goose chase. Actually ended up trying to send me through a bunch of people's houses, and I don't think they would like it if I rode my bike to their house, but but Google does that. I mean, Google Maps does that. It's just
And like I said before, when I double checked on organic maps, which is they use the map data from open source map, which is a volunteer thing where people build upon the map itself. You know, you volunteer your information and you put in stuff and it just grows organically. So it's an awesome map system for free. I think Maps.me actually uses the same map data. They just make you pay for it. Organic Maps is free. So I'm going to start looking for a spot to camp. I got something to eat coming up. I'm having an energy drink, but that's just because I'm a little drained out. Yeah, so I'm on the 6 a little bit, but there's a small town coming up with a river, and the river runs south, and I'm thinking about trying my luck at running, going off into the wilderness, following the river down, which might not work out for me, and I might end up having to come all the way back, but at least it'll give me a chance maybe to look for a spot to camp. Who knows? I don't know what the camping is until I see the spot, right? I mean, I'm just playing this by ear, so keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully I'll find a spot before dark here, but I still got a little while. I just need to start looking now, I guess. Okay, there's a few trees on this one. I mean, there's a house way behind me. Like if you look way back there in the distance, which is a lot closer than it comes out on video, but tape here. I'm gonna look for a tree. I got about a half an hour, about 20 minutes before sunset time. 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. So I'm gonna see if there's somewhere right here I can set up and not be too visible, but not too hidden. So, all right. I'm thinking about that tree and this cement pole, which is I do think a property marker. I'm thinking maybe that's not so good to be on the side of the field, but I don't see anything around. So it keeps me a little ways back, and honestly there's 2 trees like right off the free, like right there, that are good spaced apart, but I mean they're only like, I don't know, like a little over 10 feet from the street. So give you an idea, this thing's about this high, but it's only 6 paces away from the tree here, and 6 paces puts it a very tight tie off, so I don't need it above about chest height, which this is. See, so there it is in all its glory. It was only 6 paces, which is the bare minimum between the pole and the tree. So what that causes is usually it's 8 paces is what I've measured out to. The ridge line right here is not taut, so that just means I'll be doing the banana effect a little. It's not that bad, but if you look, there's a breeze going off, and the skies are a little. I'm not sure if it's going to rain at all tonight. I doubt it. Honestly, I doubt it will. That's probably just dust in the air. But if it is, the tarp will have a lot of slack in it. A lot of slack. Just because it doesn't have the distance. Because the tarp actually, even when clipped into the tarp lines, there's a. Let's see if I can find the tarp lines are actually under the snake skin, but they need to be connected. So I could tie the tarp off here into the tree, but it'll have a lot of slack. If this is slack, the tarp's going to have slack. So yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I don't mind having slack as long as the wind doesn't blow it away. I could probably tie off one side right there, and maybe I could tie one off over there on that tree, or I can use 2 rocks.
if I need to be. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna rain. I think that's just dust up in the air because of the wind. And yeah, so yeah, this looks like this is home tonight, guys. There's home, home sweet home. All right, guys, my head's actually gonna be this way, so I'll be facing the traffic or where people could possibly come in. And I'll work on editing everything tonight on this video. I found that one awesome temple, Buddhist temple, by accident. That thing was awesome with all the wood and stuff. That was the highlight of the day. Got lost a little. Google Maps was way off on this one. I guess, I'm putting in the walking route, and he's like, hey, you can cut through fields and go through houses, and you can swim across this river. That's almost like how Google Maps actually just kind of guesses, like, well, you can walk this way if you want to walk. So I'm back out on the 6 doing the truck motorcycle route. So it's not bad though. Like I said, the 6 and the highways here are so much better than Vietnam, by hands down. Not the same amount of honking and congestion and stuff like that. Cambodia is a lot better spot to actually cycle through. But like I said, they all have their flavors. Vietnam had its perks and stuff, and it's not like I'm an expert at these things. I just bought a $100 bicycle and start pedaling. Anybody can do it, guys. Get out there and do it. Just go for the gusto. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits, you guys. Good night, y'all. I'm back in my element. I'm back out here doing what every introvert does: pedaling. All right, guys. Peace. Good night, y'all.